Alright, so right here I put up a little bit different pitch of a regular PST 7x7 tarp. Pitched on the diagonal over top of a long poncho PSSL. So it's 8 feet long when it's stretched out like a hammock. And it's similar to the way we've done a lot of them in the past, but I wanted to show you one little difference that gives us a little bit more room inside of the thing. Now you can see right here, this is actually the tarp in the that's the tab in the very center of the tarp right there. And then this tab is the one on the diagonal halfway between the corner and the center. So what we did is we pulled up here and then we pulled up right there. So that kind of gives us a good peek on here. And then we guide out at the other corners on both sides like this right here. The foot end is tied back to the same tree as the foot end of the hammock. And then the head end of the tarp is pulled back to the tree here, just a little bit above where the tarp is tied off to the tree, and a little bit below where we guide off the ridge line for the tarp right there. So that's pulled back there, so that gives us tension head to foot. The other corners give us the other way. Now what we've done, the next thing we've done is taken the tab that's halfway between the corners here. You notice we have a tab there, then we skipped a tab, then the next one here. We've tied that back to a tree here to pull out on it, and I'll show you a view of that, which shows the effect of that. So you see, instead of having a straight line from here down to there, by pulling back right here, what I've done here is I've opened up the inside of the canopy here. So it gives a lot more headroom. You're not brushing up against the tarp or anything like that. It's pulled back away from you pretty good. I'll show a view from this other side. Then I did it a little different just to show you something here on this other side. And you know, this is a little bit taller than that side, so it's not identical, but I could have trimmed it off a little bit. I'm not that picky. But so what I did is, instead of tying off to a tree, because there isn't a good one to tie here, I just got a stick that was laying on the ground, put the center, that tab over there, tied me a parachute cord to here down to a tent stake, and pulled it back. So now you see, when we look up inside of there, it tapers at the foot end to a small end, diagonals to the end. On the head end, it fans out, so it gets bigger and bigger out here to the head end, which gives plenty of space underneath there. You know, so you got space. You can put stuff under the tarp. Gives you plenty of headroom in the hammock and everything. Plenty of elbow room. And like I say, you're not brushing up against the tarp in the night. Now here's a more standard pitch out that we did with one of our old Marpat PSTs, 7x7 again. And we notice how we pitched our ridge line high, about a little over probably 6.5 feet off the ground. Ran our parachute cord through the diagonal tab, and then we just put a stick through with a shock cord right there to pull up on the center tab a little bit, which just gives you a little more inside space. Now, and then this one we've just anchored down on the two corners side to side down to a tent peg. Foot end we've got tied off to the foot end of the tree there. And now what this does, this one we've got, if I can get up in here, this one we've got a pretty good amount of head space and an area inside of there, because we guide it out wide down here and we've tied it off tall. So we got a good amount of room. The tarp that's in there right now, set up as a hammock, is the tan PSS, so it's the regular length, 7 foot long, set up as a hammock. But now you see what happens here is the end kind of rolls in right here, kind of rolls down, so it actually, you know, in maybe some gusty kind of windy weather, gives a little more protection to your head end than the way I did with the multicam here just a moment ago, where I lifted these up and pulled them back. So it's essentially the same setup, but I let the front kind of hang down a little bit to give a little more wind protection. Okay, so this is Perry with Wilderness Innovation. We've made a little shelter at the campsite here. It turned out to be a lot more rainy than we thought, rain off and on and stuff. So all we had with us was a couple of our regular 7x7 tarps, a PST. So what we did is we put 2 of them together end to end, and then we just put 4 corner poles and some support poles in there, and guide it all out and everything, and turn it into a 7 by about 12 or so shelter, 12 or 13, and so we're in pretty good shape there. So you can see right here, we overlapped the Desert Digital over the Coyote. It's overlapped one tab length on the tarps, and then so it goes back up into there, and then we've made it be a little bit taller here so any rain won't run back underneath the overlap, but it'll come back this way. And the way we hooked them together, I mean, we could have done a lot of different ways, but we're just using what we've got here. And all we did is, see, there's the Desert Digital here, and then the Coyote here. We just pulled one tab through the other one and just pulled a tent stake through it to hold it. We did that in both places, and then we put this support pole up into the corner reinforced area of the Coyote. And then up inside we've got our tent stake bags going up to the velcros on top, on the Desert Digital and on the Coyote down there. Then in the middle we added one more because we needed another little support in here to kind of help hold this edge up here, so we seal it from rain, you know, coming back this way. So we put that one up there, and we put a tent stake bag over it, and there isn't any Velcro there. So what we did is we used shock cord to secure it off to the center line tab on that tarp right there. So that worked pretty good. So that gets us our setup. So each corner pole we've got guide out, you know, about 90-degree angles apart roughly. So that pulls tension on everything. And we got our kind of circus tent top on there, look, where everything hooks together, and it may not be pretty, but hey, it works. We've got a nice good steep pitch on there, so even a pretty good rain will come off of there. And we just made the best we could here on the cement pad here at the campsite. And so that's our little just a little kind of a tip here for putting 2 PSTs together by overlapping them one tab length and forming them into a larger rectangular tarp.